The federal government apparently isn't happy with Alabama's new immigration law. If it decides to challenge it in court, law enforcement officials say that will have an impact, obviously, on what they do. Well, that was the topic of discussion of a meeting called by the U.S. Justice Department with sheriffs from across the state. Fox 10 News reporter Paige Malone spoke with local and state officials about what happened.
7 sheriffs from across the state met with federal officials to talk about problems the government has with the new Alabama immigration law. The Alabama Sheriff's Association Executive Director Bobby Timmons says his hope is that if the federal government can point out any problems now, he hopes the governor might call a special session and consider amendments.
So if you've got a problem with this act, let us know now where we can have time to have it amended before we do the enforcement of it. If not, then don't be suing us later down the line, because we're giving you the full opportunity now to voice your opinion on it. So.
Timmons hopes the federal government's concerns are voiced before September 1st, the day the law takes effect. Right now, sheriffs across the state are preparing to enforce the new law. In Baldwin County, Chief Deputy Charlie Jones with the Sheriff's Office says they're in the planning stages. Training starts next month, which isn't cheap.
There'll be some cost associated with the training process, as any training that we do in law enforcement. Certainly we have to maintain manpower levels on the street while we bring officers in to do the training, so there are some overtime costs that are associated with that from time to time.
Regardless of what the federal government does, the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office says they will be trained and ready come September 1st. Whether or not they'll be able to enforce the law is still up in the air.
If there are challenges and there are any stays that come out of the court, then certainly we'll honor those and we'll act accordingly. But right now there are a lot of unknowns.
If they're going to strike it down now before we train our people into enforcing it, because there's no reason to be trained into a law or any section of a law that's going to be ruled unconstitutional.
Timmons says the officials from the Justice Department didn't pinpoint anything in the bill as grounds for a challenge, just stated that immigration enforcement should be handled on the federal level, not by individual states. Reporting in Mobile, Paige Malone, Fox 10 News.
The Justice Department requested the meeting with members of the Alabama Sheriff's Association. The association then picked the sheriffs it wanted to attend. Baldwin County Sheriff Huey Haas Mack says sheriffs from our area did not attend the meeting.